All right, here's what I read in the month of September. All right, first up is The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. This was a beautiful historical fiction novel set around the 1800s when they were first coming up with the dictionary. And the premise of it was, do words mean the same thing to men and women? And if so, how has that meaning changed over the course of the centuries? This novel felt like an original with a real celebration behind language and words and how we use them, while also celebrating women's contributions towards doing those things. It was also beautiful, emotional, and incredibly real. Anyway, that's A Dictionary of Lost Words. Next one up is Holes. Holes still felt just as good reading it as when I read it in the 5th grade. It still holds up incredibly well, and I found myself rooting for the characters, being immersed in the world. Longer review on that incoming. Next one up is Strange Pictures by Yukitsu. I've done a longer video on this one, so you can check that out below, but this was a mystery thriller that surprised me, using the psychology of pictures while splitting the book into 4 chapters, and each chapter is trying to solve the same mystery from a different point of view. It was fascinating, it was twisty and turny, and the whole thing truly surprised me. Next up was Lessons from Cat for Surviving Fascism by Stuart Reynolds. This was kind of one of those funny, insightful, and thought-provoking books. It did give those really powerful lessons that we can learn from cats and how we can use them to survive what we are calling 2025. And the final one for the month of September was The Desert Sphere, the second book in the Demon Cycle series by Peter V. Brett. And I found this one quite hard to engage with. Initially, it took 200 pages to go back into a character that I was actually familiar with, but then it kind of re-entered the world of the characters I was familiar with. And I quite often find this with epic fantasy, where there is large storylines and world building put at the end of what I would call a building novel. It is building for the next novels in the series, and I definitely felt that way, but I quite enjoyed the second half of this novel and their progression really enchanting. Anywho, that's what I read in the month of September. Let me know what you read in the comments below, and I'll see you in October.